Welcome. What if I told you Nintendo didn't start with consoles? Not with Mario, not with Zelda, but with playing cards in 1889. Yes, 1889, when the Eiffel Tower had just been built. In this video, you'll discover how a small handmade card company became a global gaming empire, why Nintendo nearly went bankrupt multiple times, the strategic decisions that saved the entire video game industry, and the real meaning behind the name Nintendo. Stay with me, this story is far more unbelievable than you think. Chapter 1 1889, The Origin Story. In 1889, in Kyoto, a craftsman named Fusajiro Yamauchi founded a small company called Nintendo Kopai. At the time, most gambling games were banned in Japan, but one type of card game was allowed, hanafuda. These were beautifully illustrated flower cards used in traditional games. Fusajiro handcrafted each deck with precision and quality, and they became popular. Here's the key insight. Nintendo didn't begin as a tech company. It began as an entertainment company. That core identity has never changed. Chapter 2, Expansion, Risk, and Near Failure. For decades, Nintendo thrived in the card business. But by the mid-20th century, demand slowed. In 1949, the founder's grandson, Hiroshi Yamauchi, took over at just 22 years old. He was strict, bold, visionary, and he understood something critical. Playing cards alone wouldn't secure the future. So Nintendo experimented with a taxi company, love hotels, instant rice, various side businesses. Almost all of them failed, except one category, toys, and that pivot would change everything. Chapter 3, The Invention That Shifted History. In the 1960s, Nintendo hired a maintenance engineer named Gunpei Yokoi. During his break, he built a simple mechanical toy, the Ultra Hand. Hiroshi Yamauchi noticed it and decided to mass produce it. The result? A huge success in Japan. Gunpei Yokoi would later define Nintendo's philosophy. Lateral thinking with withered technology. In simple terms, use older, cheaper technology, but in innovative ways. This mindset shaped Nintendo's DNA forever. Chapter 4 Entering the Video Game Industry. In the 1970s, video games began emerging. Nintendo saw opportunity. They first distributed arcade machines. Then they built their own. In 1981, they released Donkey Kong. It introduced a mustached carpenter, not yet called Mario. The game was created by a young designer named Shigeru Miyamoto. It became a global hit. Nintendo realized something powerful. They weren't just selling hardware. They were creating characters, worlds, emotional experiences. Chapter 5, The NES, the console that saved an industry. In 1983, the video game market crashed in the United States. Too many consoles, too many low-quality games. Consumers lost trust. Nintendo launched the family computer in Japan. Then, in 1985, in North America, they released the Nintendo Entertainment System. But they did something revolutionary. Strict quality control, limited third-party licenses, the famous seal of quality. The result? Trust returned, and with it came Super Mario Bros. A global phenomenon. Nintendo didn't just save itself, it saved the entire video game industry. Chapter 6, Why Nintendo is Still Different. 4 strategic pillars explain its longevity. 1. Innovation through constraints. Not the most powerful hardware, but the most creative experiences. 2. Iconic characters. Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong. Multi-generational intellectual property. 3. Calculated risk-taking. From the Wii to the Switch, Nintendo reinvents itself. 4. Long-term vision. Nintendo thinks in decades, not quarters. Few companies on Earth can say they were founded in 1889 and still dominate global entertainment. Conclusion. The big lesson. Nintendo is not just a gaming company. It survived 2 world wars, multiple economic crises, near bankruptcy, an industry-wide collapse, all while staying true to one mission: creating joyful entertainment. The next time you power on a Nintendo console, remember, it all began with hand-painted flower cards in Kyoto. If you learned something new today, subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest gaming empires. And tell me in the comments, what was your first Nintendo console? See you in the next video.